the key ingredient in successful exploration is not the mapping. In spite of the fact that the mapping takes a lot of skill and a lot of training. It's what you do with the mapping and the concepts and the conceptualization of the model, whatever model that you apply to the prospect that you're working on. And I've found that is the greatest difficulty, at least in groups that I've worked with, in short courses or in the field, hands-on kind of work, is having to conceptualize what it all means. Let's put together all of the stuff we've been doing the last week, and what does it mean?
Why are we doing this mapping?
Why are we mapping? Exactly, because mapping is not the end in itself.
Yeah, that's right.
And so we have to be able to conceptualize, we have to be able to project these things using models that are fundamentally chemical models. So,
but there's also problems in what are we mapping? And that's a lot of that's basic mineralogy.
Oh, sure.
How do
you mean by what are we mapping?
Yeah.
I don't recognize what I'm looking at through my hand lens.
Yeah. What am I trying to map? And
yeah.
One of the questions I always get is, well, how do you tell cerussite from kaolinite? Well, that's not the important thing.
That's not the important.
And you can't do it anyway, so don't worry about it. The question is, how do you tell if a feldspar is completely altered to something, whether it's kaolinite or cerussite, you don't know. Or how do you tell if it's partially altered, or how do you tell if it's almost not altered?
Yeah.
Well, a good example is probably exploration of the Collahuasi and Quebrada Blanca districts in northern Chile. And John Hunt went there, and Quebrada Blanca was a known prospect that Anaconda actually held, and he'd probably visited there when he was an anaconda geologist in the 60s or 50s, and so he knew about its existence, and he started an exploration program for Howard Keck probably in the late 70s, I think it was, and the first thing they did was map the surface at Quebrada Blanca, and mapped all the alteration units that they could, and quartz veining, and limonite after sulfides is all you could see on the surface, and put together an exploration map based on that, and drilled the first hole and hit high grade, opened a bottle of champagne and continued to drill. Then the other one was Collahuasi, which was maybe a little bit more like Butte, but John started looking at dumps there. It was mostly covered, actually, and, covered by colluvium. And, he found little dumps and little holes that prospectors had dug, and found good-looking limonite, good-looking quartz veining, and good-looking porphyry, and all the right things, and mapped all those, mapped the distribution of those. And then they started drilling that. That's about when I started working there. They already discovered it, but there was older Butte style veins there, and or younger than the porphyry copper mineralization, but previously been mined. And so we knew there was a lot of copper around the area, and that has turned out to be one of the biggest deposits probably in the world. John was just there recently.
The whole district.
Well, not the whole district, and the Rosario. This is the Rosario.
This is the Rosario
deposit at Collahuasi.